Hey everyone, thanks for checking out today's video on website statistics. Now, as a publisher, you know that it's important to be paying attention to your website's metrics and analytics. But the question is always, what should you be paying attention to? And how do you get that information to improve the performance of your website and also deliver the information to advertisers that they need to know about how your website is performing and the audience that you can deliver to them? So what we're going to do today is go through the Matamo website statistics program. Now, this is a third-party application, and all our hometown customers have their own account. We're tracking your statistics for you. You may not have an account set up for yourself personally. If you don't, please follow the link below the video and we'll get you set up. But as soon as you become a customer, we're tracking your stats. And I just want to take you through a quick overview of Matamo, show you where to find some of the most valuable information. So I'm looking at right now the statistics for our website, our hometown, the marketing website for our company. I'm on the dashboard page right now. As you can see, there's a ton of information here. And to be honest, the dashboard page probably isn't a great place to start when you are first getting into learning Matamo and looking at your website stats. It's very useful for down the road to get a quick look of how things are going on. But to kind of step into it, I really recommend going into some of the more focused areas. And we're going to first start with the visitors area. If I click on visitors and go to overview, I can go in and get basically the two most important statistics for any website. These are the two numbers that everyone's talking about when they're describing their own website or trying to determine how popular a website is, which is the unique visitors and the page views. And those are automatically going to be mapped out in this graph. And I can scroll below to see the visits overview and get these numbers for the period that I'm looking at. So again, it's unique visitors, which is pretty much equivalent to individuals visiting your site over the period, and page views, which is the number of times that the page has been loaded, whether that's the home page, article pages, category pages. Anytime the website is loaded, it counts as a page view. So those two numbers together are usually the things you want to pay attention to, and often the things advertisers are interested in. They want to know how big is your audience, and that is your unique visitors, and how active is your audience on the website, which is the page views, total page views. Now, one thing I want to point out here is that I'm looking at the month of September 2019. So when you're on the overview page, you can look at pretty much any time frame that you're interested in. So I can look at just a week at a time. I can look at a single day, or I can do, as we already saw, a month, a year, or a custom date range. And you just choose two dates to look at the metrics for. So that's your overview of the visitors. When we're looking at visitors, another thing that I like to check out is devices. This is always interesting to me to know how many of the users are coming from desktop, smartphone, tablets, and other devices. You can kind of group those all under one because they usually don't make up too many of the visitors. Right now I'm just looking at a single day, but I think 1 month is probably a good place to start. So on our website, we're definitely leading with 82% of the traffic coming on desktop, 13% coming from smartphone. I think on a lot of newspaper sites, you'll see the ratio much higher for mobile devices. The second area that you can look at is the behavior section of stats. Under the behavior section, we're looking at the pages. And there's two areas that you want to focus on here: articles and category. So if I click on and open up the articles page URL, because of the way our URLs are structured, every article is going to be categorized under the article page URL. So I can basically come in here and see what were the most popular articles in the last month. And I can change the time period that I'm looking at to look at 1 day, a week, a year, or a custom time frame. So that can be very interesting, just to know what articles were the most popular with your readers. The other section that can be really valuable to look at is the categories. If I open this up, it's going to rank the categories from the most popular to the least based on page views. Okay, so that's how this is actually being sorted right now. So it looks like on this particular site, 10% of the page views were on the obituaries category, articles within the obituary. Then news, front page, sports, people, classifieds, and so on. So those two metrics can be really helpful in understanding your audience and what they're interested in on the website. The third area is the acquisition area. And if you go to social networks, this can be interesting. Actually, on this particular news site, looks like pretty much all their traffic is coming from Facebook. But if I switch back to the Our Hometown site, we can see that 77% comes from Facebook, but we're also doing a lot of advertising on LinkedIn, so we get 16% from that. And all these videos that we're putting out there is obviously generating some traffic, 6%. So just understanding where the traffic's coming from can help inform some decisions on how you're using these social networks. Okay, that's your basic introduction. So again, visitors, behavior, acquisition. I would really recommend focusing on these areas rather than using the dashboard. But if I click on the dashboard again, you'll see that all these areas are represented here. So we've got device type, we've got websites, and we've got a lot more information, pages, than we went over today. Thank you very much for checking out this video. If you have any questions on this, or if you'd like to get an account set up, if you haven't had one already created, please email ops@ourhometown.com. Thanks very much.